This is it. This is the big one. This is the one that I've been waiting all year for. It's Evil Dead Rise, and I've got a review coming at you.
Join us.
Welcome to Cinefanatics. My name's Robert Adams, and I've got a spoiler-free review tonight for Evil Dead Rise. Why tonight? Because that's when all the creepy stuff happens, late at night. And man, this movie is creepy and takes place at night. So it fits in perfectly. Right off the bat, let me know your opinions down below in the chat. Please keep in mind these are just opinions. This is the opinion of someone who's a mega fan of the entire Evil Dead franchise. So if you agree, let me know down below. If you have some other thoughts, takes, opinions, also let me know those down below as well. I'm going to jump straight into this. Right off the bat, the first and foremost thing I could say is welcome back to the world of the Evil Dead. This movie fits in perfectly with everything else that has come before it. It is easily a worthy successor to the Evil Dead franchise and everything that has come before. You've got the gore in this movie, lives up to exactly what you would expect from all the movies except Army of Darkness. Otherwise, yeah, like it is up there as one of the goriest movies of this entire franchise, of all horror. And yeah, I feel like it does it so well. The story fits perfectly. Everything with that, just it's amazing. Like, I feel like this is gonna be an oversimplified review where I'm just like, it's a good movie. It is a good movie, but man, the details in this, I love what they've done with it. There's little nods, Easter eggs. There's stuff. If you are a fan of this franchise, you are blessed with the Easter eggs and the little nods and stuff that they do in this movie. They reward you for being such a lifelong fan from 1981's The Evil Dead till now. It's so good, everything that they've jam-packed into this. Right off the bat, I will also say this is very good work from director Lee Cronin. This is Lee Cronin's second feature after 2019's The Hole in the Ground, and I'll tell you what, Sam Raimi and crew know how to pick directors to work on their movies. This is kind of the same feelings I got from 2013's Evil Dead that was directed by Fede Alvarez. When that movie came out, after I had first seen it, I was like, man, Fede Alvarez has got this nailed. Sam Raimi knew exactly what he was doing. And then also, I feel like that carried over to Fede Alvarez's second movie, Don't Breathe, which has, it proved him as a good horror director. So I'm really happy to see that Sam Raimi, Robert Tappert, and Bruce Campbell know how to pick the creative people to work on these movies, and it shows. It's awesome the way that they do this. He is directing this with his own flair in it, and that being said, I think there's so many split diopter shots in this movie. I almost thought it was directed by Brian De Palma there for a second. I know the original Evil Dead also made use of a couple of split diopter shots, which I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite shots to see movies do and pull off, especially if they do it right, and man, they were done very well in this movie as well. But yeah, Lee Cronin's putting in his own flair while still paying homage to like Sam Raimi's tropes from the original three. And yes, I'm saying the original three, including all the humor and stuff that was brought in by like Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. 2013's Evil Dead, directed by Fede Alvarez, really kind of let go of the humorous aspect of the Evil Dead franchise. The 2013 Evil Dead really focused more on just the gore, the horror, the carnage. This movie does a very good job of like blending the humor into the carnage and everything that's going on without it really feeling forced. There's definitely a couple of shots that are almost like shot for shot of something that has come before, and while typically most people would probably be like, yeah, that's bad, you don't want to recopy a shot for shot, make something your own, this is it being its own thing while still paying homage with those shots, and I think it was pulled off beautifully. It works perfectly within the confines of this. All the actors in this, first of all, this is a movie that involves kids, and man, does this movie involve the kids. That's usually like a big no-no in horror movies. Like, you don't mess with the kids, man. You don't mess with the kids, you don't mess with the pets. And yeah, this movie goes for it on some levels with these kids involved. It's not something that you thought that you really needed, and you probably don't, but I love that they actually went there with it. It was one of the first things I think, like, I was thinking when I first saw that trailer. When the first trailer for Evil Dead Rise dropped, I was like, oh, we're going to add kids into this mix. Okay, that's different, because we're used to seeing, for the most part with Evil Dead, we're either seeing like a bunch of random teenagers getting picked off, or the couple of adults that happen to be there, or then it's just basically following Ash on his medieval adventures in the third one. Otherwise, yeah, like, there's no kids actually involved in this. And this movie poses a really good question, is what happens when you have kids that are put into the same world, that are having to deal with the Deadites taking over, with being possessed by these demons. And it makes for very interesting and very, very brutal kills and scenarios. And as weird as I feel like it is to say, I loved it. I love that they went there. I love that they pushed the envelope on there. And I feel like they did a phenomenal job accomplishing what they were doing by adding kids into the mix with this movie. So yeah, fantastic work by all the kid actors in this. The mom, Ellie, played by Alyssa Sutherland, super creepy. As you could tell from the trailer, she's got the creepiness of being a Deadite nailed down to a T. And man, like, there's so much more that they didn't show in the trailer of what she does. It's brutal. I want to talk about it in detail, but I want to give anything away as to exactly what she's doing at when and where. But yeah, she pulls off a hell of a performance. And then the other one I want to give it off to is Lily Sullivan, who plays Beth. Easily the star of this movie, with the exception of like a couple of the kids do really well. But yeah, Lily Sullivan really is the focus star of this. I would actually love to see like a good Evil Dead team up. Bring Beth back into this. Bring Mia back into this. Bring Ash into this. I know Bruce Campbell's probably not going to return as Ash in any substantial role in a future movie, but I would love to see at least these three come together, because all three of them are badass in their own right, and so that would be brutal to have like a whole team, maybe like an Army of Darkness. Oh wait, they already used that title. Anyways, have a whole like Revengers club of people that are just fighting Deadites as this book continues to transform the world. And I feel like it's very possible. This movie opens up a huge door for what they could do with this franchise going forward. This is the first time, other than like that third movie where they went back to the medieval times, this is the first movie that we really get out of like the campsite, the cabin in the woods type of scenario, and bring it into the real world, a real city full of people all over the place. And I really loved that switching to that urban location. It worked very well while still being extremely creepy, because you got to get that feeling of like being isolated and trapped. And I feel like they did a good job with the story and creating a scenario where these people are trapped basically within their apartment building and having to figure out how they're going to escape and how they're going to win. It works very well, and I would love to see this expanded upon even further. Like, what are the actual reaches of the Book of the Dead once you wake the dead up? Is it only confined to this apartment building? Can someone like 8 blocks down the road also become possessed? Who knows? I would love to see that explored even further, and I feel like this is a very good direction for this movie for the future movies to go, based off of what was laid in the groundwork in this movie. As far as like if I was going to say anything bad about this, I mean, honestly, I really don't have anything bad to say. Like, a lot of practical effects. It looked like there might have been like a little bit of CGI here and there, but I mean, some of these shots, you really would have to lean onto the CGI to be able to pull those off, so I'm not going to knock it for that. The only thing, maybe, if I want to say something bad about it, is the beginning was a little slow as we're being introduced to all these characters. Which I do feel like that's a lot like the original Evil Dead, where you had like, what was it, like 5 people go into this cabin. We got to know who all 5 of these people are and need to know, why do we care about them as they get possessed and dismembered and whatever. That's what we got to do with this, but now we also need to understand the point of view of the kids and the mom and the mom's sister and like even neighbors. That's one thing they really didn't show too much in the trailer, is there are other people besides just this family. There are neighbors from like across the hall, down the way and stuff that also are getting involved in this. So yeah, it makes it a really bloody good time, but yeah, we got to get to know some of these people, so it kind of slows things down a bit. I was kind of hoping this movie would just pick up and then like just jump straight into let's get some horror going and just keep going, which it does. Once the horror kicks in, it really does not let off the gas pedal. It just keeps going and going and going for it on every level, and I love that about this movie. I can't wait to watch this again, which is kind of weird to say because I just got out of it, and I do feel like I got a little bit of a workout. I do feel like the need to kind of like mellow out and chill. Good thing this is released on 420, am I right? Am I right? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so yeah, I want to relax and chill a little bit after watching this, calm down, hopefully be able to go to bed tonight, because that's, I don't know, but I like horror movies. That's usually not a problem. But yeah, I think overall that's gonna be my thoughts for rating this movie. Man, I mean, here's the thing, like, I honestly do feel like there might be a little bit of bias in this, just because I am a super fan of the entire series. I've gotten to meet Bruce Campbell. I've had a picture with Ted Raimi. I wish I could meet everyone else from this entire franchise. Anyone who's had any hand to do with Evil Dead, I want to meet you and just thank you for all the good work that you've done. So yes, I will tend to lean a lot more positive on this. It's really hard to like really narrow down what I would call a perfect movie. I am, out of 10, I'm going to rate this as a 9. This is pretty damn close. Easily going to be my favorite horror movie of the year as of right now. And it's going to be really hard to top that, I would say. So yeah, if you're a super fan like me of the Evil Dead franchise, you are in for a good time, a wild ride. It is a great movie. Go see it in a packed theater, because all that sound mixing and all the creepiness is so good, especially when everyone else around you is reacting as well. It's a visceral experience that everyone gets to partake in all at once. So big crowded theater, go see it this weekend. Obviously not sponsored by it, but please do yourself a favor. Even if you're not a horror fan, go see this movie. It's still going to be a roller coaster ride, so to speak. So yeah, go check it out. It's a blast. Anyways, that's going to do it for this review. Again, what did you think of it? Obviously, I love this movie, so let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. While you're down there, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. We're continuing to do fantastic things on the Cinefanatics, so come back and join us. Yeah, come back. You can follow us on social media. We are at The Cinefanatics on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me personally at Robert Adams MLP on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and also youtube.com/@RobertAdamsMLP. Anyways, again, that's going to do it for this review. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Good night.